what are you hearing on the ground in Texas?
I'll tell you like this, tremendous dissatisfaction amongst Trump voters, conservatives that are just disappointed with him. And we are seeing record turnout in the Democratic primary. But you even have a lot of dissatisfied independents and Republicans that are coming out and saying, we're done with Trump, we're done with the Republican Party, we want to vote for change.
Joining me now is Junior Ezeonu. And he is a lot of things. It's a funny introduction, but he is Mayor Pro Tem of Grand Prairie, Texas. He was the youngest city councilor there. He's running for the Texas House of Representatives District 101, and he manages Climate Cabinet's political program. So a lot to talk about. Junior, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Cenk. I'm so excited to be here, man. I've been watching you since I was 9 years old. So it's a full circle moment. I'm so excited to be here.
That's awesome. Look, I got used to the fact that I'm old, so that that doesn't bother me as much anymore, or it really didn't bother me that much to begin with. But I love to hear that. Seriously, the fact that you've been watching now for 16 years or so, that's amazing, amazing. It makes me feel retroactively good about the work we did back then when we weren't sure anybody was watching. But okay, now let's talk about your work. So talk to me about Climate Cabinet. For folks who haven't heard of it, what is that?
Yeah, so Climate Cabinet is a pro-climate action organization, and we support pro-climate candidates all over the country. We focus solely on states and local elections because we know that's where most of the impact is. On the federal level, we really struggle to find the ability to pass bipartisan legislation or just pass legislation that's really focused on climate action, other than the Inflation Reduction Act, which Trump did, basically destroy, just dissipate recently. So we focus really on the state and local. So far this year, we've already endorsed 36 candidates, 36 climate champions across the country in several important states. And there's 3 in particular that I'd love to talk to you today about, who are going to really do really good work and are running in really important elections.
So before we get to the 3 candidates, tell me about what the objectives are. First of all, I totally get why not to do national, because well, the way I would frame it is that it's because the national guys are bought, and you'd have to spend an enormous amount of money unbuying them, right? So it makes sense to go to the local state level. But what bills could they pass? What could they do at the local and state level that would make that action worthwhile?
Great question. So let's say state legislatures. On the state legislature level, they can pass policies, pass bills that help with siting for solar farms or wind farms. They can pass legislation that increases investments into clean energy programs. They can, for city council, like for example, for me as a city council member in Grand Prairie, we passed policy to upgrade our fleet to have electric vehicles. To reduce our greenhouse gas emissions in our city. We've conducted studies, we work with different organizations. On the local and state level, it's quicker. There's more action that's possible in a quicker fashion compared to the federal level, where like you said, it's very expensive to support good candidates. And even when you get a few good candidates in, it's them against the rest of everyone else that's bought by fossil fuel money. So it's very difficult on the federal level, and it's a lot quicker on the state and local level. And we've seen a lot of progress in states like Michigan, who have passed comprehensive and amazing pieces of climate action legislation over the last few years. Minnesota's another one, which passed some big legislation when they had the trifecta. And we're looking to do that in some other states this year.
Junior, how worried are you that we're gonna waste another 3 years here under Trump? We already wasted 1. Like we were worried about the planet, before, and now we're just taking 4 more years off the clock, and we're gonna have to play even more catch up later. So how much does that keep you up at night?
It's terrifying, right? It's scary because Trump is just, he has so many issues and he does so much bad to our country and our world, but he's also just slowing down progress. But we can't sit on the sidelines. We can't, cry and complain about it. We've got to get in the game. And Democrats can't just be defensive the whole time and try to slow Trump down from doing his destruction. We have to be offensive in states that are competitive, whether it's states like North Carolina, states like Pennsylvania, states like Michigan, states like Texas. Texas has a lot of potential in pushing for pro-climate policies in the near future. So it's unfortunate that we're here right now, but Cenk, I'm gonna tell you this. You are somebody that inspired me to be who I am now. I talk about my job as a council member and a candidate for the State House of Representatives in Texas. A lot of my progressive views when it comes to policy and public policy came from you, came from Bernie Sanders. That 2016 Democratic primary really helped me cultivate who I am now as a leader. And I think it did it for a lot of other people. What y'all done with the Justice Democrats? Y'all did a lot of good for a lot of us and helped us get to where we are now. And I think better days are ahead, but we have to fight and not just fight back, but fight on the proactive front as well.
All right. Well, you're too kind, but I appreciate it. Thank you for saying that. Okay, so let's talk about. I love your attitude of let's fight forward, right? So tell me about the three candidates you guys are backing.
Yeah, so we have somebody in New Mexico running for land commissioner, Juan Sanchez. So New Mexico is a Democratic state. It's a state that should have more pro-climate policies, but oil and gas money has just corrupted a lot of people that should be on the right side of these issues. So Juan Sanchez is running for land commissioner, and land commissioner oversees thousands, hundreds of thousands of acres, and whoever wins this race can decide if New Mexico will move in a pro-climate future or still be bogged down by the corporate and oil and gas money that has slowed down the state's progress when it comes to reducing greenhouse gas emissions, transitioning from fossil fuel dependency, moving towards pro-climate policies. Another race, which Jake, I think you'll find fascinating, is in North Carolina, House District 106, where we have a Democratic incumbent that has voted very poorly on several issues. I'm not going to name her. Y'all go Google her. Y'all find who serves in that seat. Has voted to override the governor's veto several times. It's just been a nightmare for Democrats in North Carolina. And we have an amazing pro-climate candidate, an environmental advocate, Reverend Rodney Sadler, who's running in North Carolina. I mean, he's gonna win this race. And their primary is the same day as my primary, actually, March 3rd. So it's coming up. So he's an amazing candidate that we need. An amazing brother that's gonna get into that seat and fight for the issues and fight for the values that we care about. And then lastly, I told you, state and local, right? States and local. We're invested and we're supporting Jamie Collins in Deschutes, Oregon. Deschutes, Oregon is a pretty large county in Oregon. He's running for the county commission. And the county commission is split, it has a Republican majority, and he's running to flip the county commission towards a pro-climate majority. And if we win this race, there's so much work that can be done, so many policies that can be passed on the local level to move us in the right direction in Oregon and make Deschutes a leader, not just in the state of Oregon, but across the entire Pacific Northwest. And we're really excited to support Jamie Collins and would ask you guys to consider supporting him as well and the other candidates.
So Junior, what's a website that people can go to help on all this?
Go to climatecabinet.org where you'll see our mission statement, why we do what we do, the 36 candidates that we've already endorsed, and we're going to endorse a lot more throughout this 2026 election cycle. Go to climatecabinet.org. You'll find out all their information. You'll find where you can contribute to these candidates. You'll find their websites and and how to support the work that we do at Climate Cabinet, because we help these candidates run, win, and then legislate. The legislation is also an important part of it because we can't just run for office for vanity's sake. We got to deliver on public policy that helps everybody.
So now tell me about your race, because here's what I'm interested in. You're in Texas, and now all of a sudden Texas, everybody always just talks about how Texas is going to be in play, and then it never is, right? But I mean, somebody just won in a district by I think 7 that Trump had won by 17. So that's
he won by 14 in a district that Trump won by 17.
That is a 31-point swing. That is a tsunami. So what are you hearing on the ground in Texas? All right, so the two things that I'm seeing from pop up, and I'm curious what you're saying is, are you seeing dissatisfaction with Trump from Trump voters? And are you seeing any talk about like this, the government's too corrupt, money in politics? Because I'm beginning to see that from independents and Trump voters at a greater scale than I had before, but I'm not on the ground in Texas. So that's what why I was curious about it.
I'll tell you like this, tremendous dissatisfaction amongst Trump voters, conservatives that are just disappointed with him. I overheard some conservatives talking the other day about a trip that they had when they went to Washington, D.C. And they came back and they said they couldn't believe how corrupt the government is currently. And this is just me talking as an elected official, as a candidate as well. This is not me taking off the climate cabinet hat. But they were talking about how just shocked they were at the corruption during this Trump regime, this Trump administration. It's insane. And you have a lot of Texans that that voted for Trump because they thought Trump would make their lives better. He would help with the economy, but they're super dissatisfied, super disappointed. And I'm gonna tell you, some of them are coming out and voting in the Democratic primary right now. So I want to tell you the lay of the land, what's happening right now. So in Texas, we're having the Democratic and Republican primaries for the 2026 elections. Our election day is March 3rd, but early voting is taking place right now, and it ends on the 27th of this month. And we are seeing record turnout in the Democratic primary. In Tarrant County, I live in Tarrant County. That's where that Senate District 9 race happened, where we flipped a Trump plus 17 district and won it by 14. In Tarrant County, we've seen 27,000 people vote early in the first 3 days for the midterm. Normally, we're seeing no more than 8,000 or 9,000 people in the first 3 days. We're tripling the turnout. In my district, House District 101, throughout the first 3 days, we had 3,100 people vote early in my district. My district is all in Tarrant County. 3,100 people vote early. My district, on average, with the incumbent who's been there forever and never had a primary opponent, we average between 6,000 to 7,000 votes. No more than 6,000 to 7,000 votes in a primary. So we're going to pass that by Sunday, maybe Monday. The turnout, the average turnout. People are excited. A lot of Democrats are excited to vote, but you even have a lot of dissatisfied independents and Republicans that are coming out and saying, we're done with Trump, we're done with the Republican Party, we want to vote for change. And in my race, I'm challenging a long-term incumbent Democrat who's been there since I was 9 years old. I mean, this guy has been there forever. He's not a bad guy, but he's part of that corporate Democratic wing. And it's time that we have progressives rise up, populist progressives that run on these working class issues, on these kitchen table issues, and work on delivering on affordability. I always tell people about affordability when it comes to homeownership, not just housing. We're always talking about housing and building more units. We also have to create programs where people can buy single family homes, build up wealth, and buy something that they can transfer over to their children one day or their grandchildren. We got to raise the minimum wage from $7.25 to $15 an hour. We desperately need that. I did that as a city council member in Grand Prairie, got it to $15 an hour, but for the state, we need it on the state level. We have to fully fund our public schools and repeal that private school voucher law. That law is destroying our public education, and Democrats and Republicans agree on that policy. So there's so many things that we're seeing folks come around to. And one other thing I want to say, Jake, I don't want to give you too much credit on this, but I got to give you credit. 10 years ago, when Bernie was running in 2016, 10 years ago, he was touting a $15 minimum wage. 10 years later, $15 minimum wage has become a mainstream thing. We got states like Missouri and Nebraska putting together and passing a $15 minimum wage that went into effect in January of this year. So we can do it in Texas. We can do it in the South. We can do it in states that are not purple yet, but getting there. It's very possible. Being a progressive is now mainstream. Y'all saw what the New York Times had with that focus group. Progressivism is mainstream now. It's the norm. It's no longer far left or whatever. Everybody wants to be a progressive, and everyone is supporting our populist issues because it affects their day-to-day lives. People want to have homes. They want to be able to put their kids in quality public schools, and they want to live in great communities. And that's what I'm fighting for as someone that's running for state representative right now and trying to push our state forward and then help elect other populist progressive Democrats that focus on these economic issues. But when you focus on the economic issues, you win a lot of voters that otherwise wouldn't have wanted to vote for you.
So we'll put Junior's website as a link down below as well. So make sure you're checking that out. Okay, we're gonna go lightning round now, Junior. I got audience members that wanna ask you questions, and I wanna ask you some lighter questions and on a serious one. All right, so Killjoy100 just wrote in, can someone please ask Junior to explain Ted Cruz? Everyone hates him, why does he keep getting elected?
Ted Cruz should have been beat in 2018. The only reason that he won in 2024 was just the Trump effect. Trump turns out a lot of Republican voters that otherwise won't vote. But Ted Cruz is a deplorable politician. Most of us despise him. Republicans despise him. And in 2030, he'll be out of there.
All right. Miss Callie Dragon asks, does he support pineapple on pizza?
That's a great question, because I do. I love pineapple on pizza. To me, it's an amazing topping for pizza. But it's crazy because people are so split on it. Either you love it or you hate it, and I love it.
All right, and for me now, what's your favorite show, TV show these days?
I've been watching Industry on HBO. I've really been enjoying Industry. Check out Industry. It's a very interesting show. That's what I've been watching recently. But yeah, Industry is my show right now.
All right, sounds good. And my favorite question, in high school, other than watching the Young Turks, what did you do for extracurricular activities? Sports, band, what'd you do?
I was a hooper, man. I was a big basketball player. Loved basketball in high school. I mean, that's my sport, basketball. So if you ever come down to the DF Dub and you want to go hoop with me, I'd be happy to go and have a good time with you, Jane.
I'd love that. Well, now that I'm past my knee surgery, I'm starting to warm up to get there, and I'd love to do that. We got to bring Bernie too. Remember, he's a baller. Okay.
Hey, the big three. I'm ready for it. Let's do it, man.
All right, last one is a serious question. If you could do one thing to fix American politics and get our government back for the American people, what would it be?
Public financing of elections. Public financing of elections. I mean, this is something that, Jake, you've talked about for years. I mean, I learned this from you, but I'm experiencing it literally in my race right now, where the incumbent who's been there forever has $800,000 to my 100,000, and he's on TV every second of the day. But we've knocked on 13,000 doors, and it's given us a real good opportunity. We've done what we can to send out enough mailers. Like, let's say this dude has sent out 20 pieces of mail in the last 2.5 weeks. Like, it's insane. So public financing of election just gives everyone an opportunity to run competent and robust campaigns and touch enough voters in a fashion where they get their name out there, and it's really important. So that's one thing I would do: public financing of elections.
Yeah, I love it, and you're right. For me, that's the correct answer. And by the way, that's why Zoran Mamdani won in New York, because he was able to get an 8-to-1 match in public financing. All right, Jordan Ezeonu, everybody check him out in Grand Prairie, Texas. We'll put the link down below, and also Climate Cabinet. Still doing great work, and we still got to win on that issue. So don't make sure you keep your eye on that ball, everybody out there. Junior, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Jake. And let me know when you want me to be back, because I'm coming, man. I love this show. I've been watching y'all, and I'm gonna keep watching y'all. Thank you for having me.
All right, I love it. Thank you, brother.